You did not come across this message by accident. Something within you was led here because a real change in your love life has already started quietly taking place. There is a real reason these words have found you at this exact stage of your life, and none of it happened without meaning. Nothing about this moment is completely random. What you are reading right now may feel like a direct answer to a signal that your own soul has been sending out into the world. Maybe during the last few days, or perhaps even over the past several weeks, you have felt a strange kind of restlessness growing inside your chest. It may appear as a small pressure that you cannot explain, an emotional feeling that comes and goes, or a quiet sense that something important is getting closer, even though you cannot clearly identify what it is. Your logical mind may not have a word for this feeling, but somewhere deeper inside, your heart already senses that something is beginning to change.
Perhaps you have noticed unexpected changes in your mood lately. Maybe old memories have suddenly returned without any clear reason. You may have found yourself thinking about moments from the past that you thought you had already moved beyond. Or maybe there is a gentle feeling of anticipation inside you, almost as if you are waiting for someone meaningful without knowing exactly who that person could be. It can feel similar to standing beside a closed door and somehow sensing that someone is about to knock before you actually hear the sound. There is a quiet knowing that comes before the evidence. I want you to understand something clearly. You are not simply making all of this up inside your mind. You are not creating hope or fear from nothing. What you are feeling may be your inner awareness responding to a change that has already started beneath the surface. Your deeper self can sometimes notice movement long before your physical circumstances begin to show it.
Right now, that intuitive part of you may be becoming more sensitive to the possibility that something important is unfolding in your romantic life. As you continue reading these words, there may already be things moving quietly behind the scenes, bringing certain events and circumstances together in ways you cannot yet see. Those small movements can eventually create a genuine turning point in your emotional world. This message may have reached you today because there is something within it that speaks directly to where you are right now. There is a particular person who is gradually being shaped by life into someone capable of making you an important part of their world and caring for you with a level of devotion you may not have known before. This is not the kind of devotion that comes from obsession, control, or unrealistic fantasy. It is not about someone becoming blindly attached to you or putting you on an impossible pedestal. What is forming here is much calmer, healthier, and more grounded. This person will come to experience you as a place of peace. They will feel that they can breathe around you. They will see you as someone with whom they can be honest, someone safe enough to share the thoughts they normally keep hidden from everyone else. They will not feel that they have to pretend when they are with you. Being close to you may give them the strange but beautiful feeling of finally arriving somewhere they have been searching for without knowing it. What is approaching may change the way you understand love itself. Because of everything you have already experienced, a part of your mind may immediately try to protect you by questioning these words. Old disappointments may remind you that beautiful promises have failed before. Your past may whisper that something this good cannot possibly happen for you. You may wonder if this is only another comforting idea that will eventually disappear. That reaction is understandable. When someone has experienced disappointment, the mind often learns to expect another disappointment before allowing itself to hope again. But every experience you have faced until now, every difficult season, every lonely period, every moment when you were forced to wait, and every situation that tested your patience may have been preparing you for something greater than you could see at the time. You have not been waiting for nothing. The difficult parts of your journey have not automatically been wasted. Every experience has taught you something. Some experiences made you softer, others made you stronger.
Some showed you what you truly wanted, while others showed you exactly what you could no longer accept. Even the relationships that did not last may have helped you understand the difference between attention and genuine care, between attraction and emotional safety, and between someone wanting you and someone truly valuing you. All of those lessons can refine your understanding of love and prepare you to receive a connection that actually fits the person you have become. What is coming is not simply ordinary affection or a short romance that disappears when the excitement fades. It is a connection that may challenge many of the things you once believed about relationships. It can move beyond surface attraction and temporary emotion. It can reach the deeper parts of two people, where honesty, trust, understanding, and emotional safety matter more than appearances. You may begin to realize that real love does not always arrive with chaos. Sometimes it comes quietly. Sometimes it feels peaceful rather than confusing. Sometimes the strongest connection is the one that does not force you to constantly question where you stand. There may already be small signs around you, even if you have not fully recognized them yet. Certain thoughts may repeat. Certain memories may suddenly become stronger. You may notice unusual coincidences, unexpected feelings, or moments when you suddenly feel as though something is shifting. Before this connection can fully appear in physical form, however, something important may need to happen first. There is a quiet and powerful process taking place in the life of the other person involved. They are going through an inner transformation of their own. Understanding this can help you understand why the waiting may have meaning. While you are living your normal days, handling responsibilities, dealing with personal challenges, and trying to move forward with your own life, something meaningful may be happening on the other side of that invisible connection. Someone is being shaped by life itself. Their circumstances, decisions, disappointments, and realizations may all be teaching them something they need to learn before they are ready for a relationship of real depth. None of those lessons need to be completely random. Life has a way of using difficult experiences to show people what they previously refused to see. They may be learning how to communicate better. They may be learning how to stop running away when emotions become uncomfortable. They may be learning that love cannot survive when one person is always afraid of being vulnerable. They may be discovering that control is not the same as commitment, and that having someone does not mean owning them. They may be realizing that a healthy relationship requires patience, respect, honesty, and responsibility. These are the kinds of lessons that can slowly prepare someone to recognize and appreciate a person like you. This is not someone who will choose you simply because you are convenient or because they happen to feel lonely for a moment. Their experiences are gradually shaping their emotional maturity. Their realizations are changing what they want from love. Their difficult moments are teaching them what truly matters. Everything they are learning can naturally move them closer to becoming the person who can meet you with greater awareness and understanding. Imagine destiny as a patient artist, and imagine this person as a piece of stone being carefully shaped over time. Every challenge they experience removes another layer that once prevented them from seeing clearly. Every painful lesson can weaken the fear, pride, stubbornness, and emotional immaturity that once stood between them and the kind of relationship they truly need. The process may not always feel comfortable for them, but growth rarely does. Sometimes a person has to lose an old version of themselves before they can become capable of holding something much more meaningful. Right now, this person may not even know your name. They may not recognize your face. They may have no idea that you exist or that someone like you is moving toward their future. And yet, at a deeper level, they may already be feeling an unexplained desire to become better. There may be something inside them telling them that their current way of living is no longer enough. They may feel pushed to grow, to change their habits, to become more emotionally aware, or to take life more seriously without fully understanding what is motivating them.
They may not know why they suddenly want to leave certain patterns behind. They may not understand why old relationships no longer satisfy them. They may begin questioning choices they once accepted without thinking. They may start wanting something deeper, calmer, and more genuine. This inner pull can be part of their preparation. In the same way that you have been growing through your own experiences, they may also be going through a process that is shaping them from the inside. The universe, life, or simply the natural movement of circumstances may be working on both of you at the same time. Your paths may be developing separately because both people need time to become ready. This preparation cannot always be rushed. A meaningful relationship needs something strong underneath it. If two people meet before they have learned the lessons they need, even a powerful connection can become difficult to hold. That is why timing can matter so much. Sometimes distance is not only about separation. Sometimes distance creates the space where two people become capable of meeting in a healthier way. This person is learning lessons that can shape them into the kind of partner you actually need, rather than the kind of person you may once have accepted simply because you wanted to be loved. They are developing greater emotional awareness. They are learning patience. They are beginning to understand that real love requires effort, even when feelings become difficult. They are learning how to care without allowing fear to control their behavior. They are discovering that being vulnerable does not automatically mean being weak. They may be learning that honesty is safer than pretending, and that communication is better than silence. When they eventually enter your life, the hope is not that they will arrive expecting you to repair everything that is broken inside them. They will not need you to become their rescuer. They will come with more awareness of their own wounds and responsibilities. They will have learned how important it is to take responsibility for their actions. They will be more prepared to protect your peace, respect your boundaries, listen to your feelings, and appreciate the person you truly are. They will understand that love is not only about receiving affection. It is also about giving safety, consistency, consideration, and respect. One important part of their transformation may be a deeper awakening within themselves. Something may begin changing in the way they understand people and relationships. They may stop judging others only by appearance. They may begin noticing qualities that cannot be seen immediately. Their awareness may expand enough for them to recognize the quiet strength, kindness, honesty, and emotional depth that you carry. They may become capable of seeing things about you that other people overlooked. Even during the moments when you doubt yourself the most, the right person will not only see the version of you that you present to the world, they will notice the parts that others ignored. Where other people focused on your mistakes, this person may notice your intentions. Where others saw your sensitivity as weakness, they may recognize it as emotional depth. Where others overlooked your kindness because they were too focused on what they could receive from you, this person may appreciate how naturally you care. Where someone else made you feel as though you were too much, too emotional, too quiet, or too difficult to understand, the right person may simply recognize that you are human and worthy of patience. This change in how they understand love will not come from luck alone. It comes through real inner work. Old beliefs about relationships are slowly being challenged inside them. Ideas that once convinced them to avoid vulnerability may begin to disappear. Fears that once made them push good people away may lose their power. They are clearing emotional space for something genuine, something they can accept without immediately becoming frightened and running in the opposite direction. As part of this preparation, they may currently be dealing with difficult circumstances in their own life. They could be ending a relationship that no longer belongs in their future.
They may be walking away from an unhealthy attachment, or finally recognizing that a situation they once tolerated is no longer right for them. They could be dealing with family pressure, personal responsibilities, career problems, financial stress, or emotional confusion. They may be facing consequences from old choices and learning from them. From the outside, their life may appear unrelated to you, but these experiences can still be shaping the person they are becoming.
They may also be learning how to stand on their own before entering a relationship with you. This matters because you should not have to carry another person's entire emotional world just to receive love. A healthy relationship is not built when one person is constantly saving the other. It is built when two people can stand independently and then choose to walk together. This person may be learning that difference right now. They may be discovering that love is not about finding someone to complete every missing part of them. It is about two whole people choosing to support one another while still maintaining their own identity. Some of their lessons may feel slow. Some may seem repetitive. They may make the same mistake more than once before finally understanding it. But growth does not always happen in a straight line. People often take one step forward and then two steps back before a deeper realization finally settles inside them. So if you have wondered why this connection has not appeared yet, remember that timing can involve more than your readiness alone. The other person may also need time to become emotionally prepared. You may be going through your own preparation as well. Perhaps you are learning to stop chasing people who do not choose you. Maybe you are learning to recognize the difference between love and emotional dependency. Maybe you are discovering that peace is more valuable than constant excitement. You may be becoming more comfortable with being alone instead of accepting the wrong person simply to avoid loneliness. These changes are important because the love you receive should match the standards you have developed for yourself. There was a version of you that may have accepted very little, simply because you wanted to feel chosen. There may have been a time when you confused inconsistency with mystery, emotional distance with depth, or occasional attention with genuine commitment. But you are not exactly the same person anymore. Every experience has changed your understanding. You have learned what hurts you. You have learned what drains you. You have learned what makes you feel safe and what makes you feel constantly uncertain. Those lessons can become a powerful form of preparation. The person coming toward your life may also be learning what they cannot continue repeating. They may be tired of shallow conversations, unstable connections, emotional games, or relationships where neither person feels truly understood. They may be beginning to want something simple but meaningful, someone they can trust, someone they can talk to without fear, someone whose presence brings peace rather than confusion, someone they can respect deeply and build something lasting with. And when two people who have both learned these lessons finally meet, the connection can feel very different from what came before. You may not have to constantly wonder whether they care. You may not need to decode every message. You may not feel as though you are fighting for basic attention. Their actions can begin to speak clearly. Their consistency can become the answer. Their willingness to communicate can remove much of the uncertainty you once believed was normal in love. This does not mean everything will always be perfect. No genuine relationship is completely free of challenges. Two people will still have different opinions, different fears, different histories, and different ways of responding to difficult moments. But the difference is that both people can choose to work through those moments instead of using them as reasons to hurt each other or disappear. The connection can become a place where problems are discussed rather than hidden, and where mistakes are corrected rather than repeatedly used as weapons. That is why the preparation matters. You are not simply waiting for a person to appear. You are becoming someone who can recognize the difference between a temporary attraction and a meaningful bond. At the same time, another person may be becoming someone who can recognize your value and treat it with care. What is being formed is not only a meeting between two people. It is the possibility of two different journeys finally reaching the same point with greater wisdom than they had before. So if you have been feeling that something is changing, do not immediately force yourself to explain every feeling. You do not need to chase an unknown person. You do not need to search desperately for signs. You do not need to convince anyone to choose you. Keep living your life. Keep growing. Keep protecting your peace. Keep becoming the person you respect when you look at yourself honestly. Sometimes the most meaningful changes begin quietly. They start as a feeling you cannot explain, a memory that returns, a new desire for something deeper, or a sudden realization that you are no longer satisfied with the patterns you once accepted. Those small changes can eventually lead to much bigger ones, and while you cannot control another person's journey, you can control how you prepare yourself for what you truly want. The love that is meant to stay in your life should not require you to abandon yourself. It should not make you constantly prove your worth. It should not depend on you accepting disrespect in exchange for occasional affection. Real love can challenge you, but it should not continually destroy your peace. It can be passionate while still being safe. It can be deep without becoming controlling. It can be emotional without becoming chaotic. The person being prepared for you may be learning exactly this distinction right now. They may be realizing that love is not simply about chemistry. It is about character. It is about how someone behaves when nobody is watching. It is about whether they can keep their word. It is about whether they can apologize without turning the apology into an excuse. It is about whether they can listen without immediately becoming defensive. It is about whether they can see another person's feelings as important even when they do not completely understand them. And when they finally recognize these things, they may also recognize you differently. Not as someone they simply find attractive, but as someone whose presence has meaning. They may notice the way you make people feel. They may notice the quiet strength behind your softness. They may recognize that your kindness is not weakness and that your sensitivity does not make you fragile. They may understand that the person standing in front of them has survived things they may never fully know about and still managed to remain capable of loving. That kind of recognition can feel powerful because it means you are no longer being loved only for what you can give. You are being valued for who you are. Your presence itself becomes meaningful. Your voice matters. Your thoughts matter. Your boundaries matter. Your dreams matter. Your peace matters. And instead of asking you to become smaller so they can feel comfortable, this person may encourage you to become even more fully yourself. So allow this season to unfold without forcing it. If the waiting has felt long, remember that a long wait does not automatically mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the most important preparation happens where you cannot see it. A seed can be growing underneath the soil long before anything appears above the surface. In the same way, changes in a person's heart, mindset, and life can happen quietly before they become visible through action. You have already survived the chapters that taught you what you do not want. Now you are learning to make space for what actually matches your heart. The person connected to this next chapter may be learning the same lesson from their side. Their life is moving them toward greater maturity, greater honesty, and greater emotional responsibility. Your life is doing its own work on you as well. And perhaps one day, when your paths finally cross, you will understand why the timing mattered. You may look back at the waiting periods, the disappointments, the endings,
and the moments when you thought nothing was changing, and see them from a different perspective. You may realize that some things had to end so that you would stop accepting less. Some doors had to close so that you would become available for something healthier. Some periods of loneliness may have taught you how to become comfortable with your own presence so that you would never again choose someone simply because you were afraid of being alone. For now, keep your heart open without losing your judgment. Keep hope without abandoning reality. Let your experiences teach you without allowing them to make you completely closed off. You do not have to predict exactly who is coming or exactly when everything will happen. You only need to continue becoming the strongest, healthiest, and most honest version of yourself. Because if someone truly belongs in your life, you will not have to destroy yourself to keep them there. You will not have to beg for basic respect. You will not have to constantly question whether you matter. The connection will have room for honesty, patience, effort, and mutual care. It will give both people the opportunity to grow while still feeling accepted. Something may already be shifting. Something may already be preparing you for a different kind of love. And even if you cannot see the entire path yet, you can still take the next step with trust in yourself. Your past does not have to decide the shape of your future. What hurt you before does not have to become the pattern you repeat forever. You are allowed to experience something healthier. You are allowed to be loved with consistency. You are allowed to feel safe with someone. You are allowed to receive the same depth of care that you have spent so much time giving to others.